There. Good morning. Good morning. Gotta put my headphones on. Let me see. Let me just finish this. I'm lazy and I don't want to. Oh God, am I really being that lazy? I don't want to like type in that. Oh, guys, fire me. That's bad. Okay, I have to run away from the scene to get the screen to refresh. You guys did not see that. Don't say anything to anybody. Yes, thank you. Thank you, community building Decentraland. We're definitely not going to go here. Oh no, I can hear my voice. Abort, abort. Get out of here. Get out of here. No, I can still hear it. Okay, I am going to turn my volume down. Guys, that was horrific. I don't want to hear my voice. I just torture you guys with it, but not me. I have to run away to get the stream to show up. Just if anybody's like, why the heck does she start her stream and then immediately run away? That is the why. Let's see. Am I full screen on there? Let's see. Ah, there we go. Don't tell Sinful that I had it like partial screen. We'll see if it catches up. Oh my gosh, thank you for coming, you guys. I'm always amazed when people show up. Ah, good morning, Fancy. Look at you. You're so cute. Hemp, oh, hello, hello. Big Brother, Papa Z, Sebga, and usually there's like somebody hiding up there, but usually it's Fancy hiding up there. So thanks everybody for coming. There, now I'm full screen. I got through some kisses to Sebga. Look at that straw hat. He might be a pirate. I'll take him on my crew. He's eating the dragon fruit. He knows, or is it monster fruit or something? I don't know. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. I didn't make an OP badge today because I had one for last week, and then um my mom's Wi-Fi is not strong enough to handle all of this goodness. So today I'm excited. Oh my gosh, I just had a moment. I was like, Fancy, wait, there's two of you. What the heck? There's two people in your shirt because I could see you dancing on the screen. So apparently I need way more coffee than I've had. So I'm gonna take another sip. Yeah, big bro, it has started. If you don't see the screen, yeah, I guess it doesn't help you get to give you the instructions. Um, yeah, if you're here early, then you just gotta like run away from it, come back, or reload. So I'll wait for a second to get started because you were early. Nice, good, thank you. I'm glad. Thank you, Sebga. Sound and picture. I never know if I'm talking, or if you're seeing me. I did one of the classes for the hackathon back last like October, and I had such a nice PowerPoint created, and then like didn't realize they couldn't see any of it. So it's like, all right, well, you got my voice, but you didn't get the words. All right, let's see. Big Brother's back. Hopefully, Big Brother can see it. And I'm gonna pull up the information. So today we're doing something very specific. Okay, good. Big Brother can see it. Yay. Knights of Antrim is doing a build contest, which I think is awesome because like we don't have a ton of build contests. Like sometimes we do, but that it's nice. It's like, oh, that's so cool that you wait, does it say I'm not following them? No, that's gotta be a glitch. That's weird. Okay. Um, let me grab these details. The build contest, and if you I'm just gonna repost this on my X. So go to my X if you want the info, or go to Knights of Antrim. Yep, just Knights of Antrim on X. First place is 2,500 mana, which let me remind you at the top of the bull run, that is a freaking lot. That's a lot. So if you buy it or if you get that, hold on to it. That could be like life. Second place is 2,000 mana. Third place is 1,500 mana. So, oh yeah, okay, thank you, Fancy. So it's, it's a significant amount of money, to put into this. So the details, because I don't, sometimes I get distracted by the coffee. Show off your creativity and build an ultimate raid boss arena in a 10 by 10 using the creator hub. So there's a few limitations. 10 by 10 creator hub. You have to have a spawn area, room to roam, and then a grand stage for a boss to appear. So that's what we've got to deal with to get started. I'm just gonna slip down here and get the creator hub open. I'm gonna kind of do this as if maybe somebody has never ever done um, like what am I trying to say? I'm trying to do stuff and say stuff at the same time. Like if you have never done anything with Decentraland building before, I'm gonna try to like make it something where you could build this reasonably. Maybe not with the Blender skills. The Blender, that might take a little bit more. But in the Creator Hub, you're going to go to scenes. So yes, you do have to download Creator Hub to start. Grab a new scene, empty scene. That's all you're going to do right now. And let's call this, I'm going to call it like Knights of Antrim. I could do something cute and cheeky like Knights of Canessa. You got to push that create button twice. I don't know why. Once is not enough. You got to do it twice. And then this is going to take just a moment to install dependencies, probably actually like 2 minutes. So while this is loading dependencies, we're going to talk about can you do this without Blender? And I think you can. There's a lot of really cool, assets in here that are like under this fantasy section. 309 items. So there's a lot of stuff in there that you could, add to your scene. There's also way more smart items than there have been in the past. So like, I mean, you could make it actually really fun for your avatar to be fighting these bad guys. Not just like, oh, I come in and I stand and deliver. Like I'm gonna stand here and fight you all. No, like how about have them like shoot up into the air, or make it like a place where there's lava, and if you fall in the lava, you're suspended there in the wind tunnel. So get creative with these kind of things down here, because there's a lot you could do with them. And then as far as the others, pirate theme probably fits into the Knights of Antrim. Halloween, there's definitely some things in there. Possibly Western, possibly steampunk, I don't know. But I would say fantasy, pirates, Halloween are the ones that are going to be the most used. Okay, so you've got your scene, the dependencies were put in there, and now you're ready to go. The next thing I would say is the layout, because these are the minimum requirements. Do not bring a scene that's 5 by 5, right? They tell you what you need. Don't bring an entire world either. Like it's gotta be a 10 by 10. So just just put in 10 by 10, apply layout, and there you go. First thing I like to do, because my brain likes to see the ground, I'm just gonna throw a texture on there. I just grab it, drag and drop. Okay, so now I can kind of have a better idea of what I'm working with. Obviously, I want to go build this in Blender, because Blender is the powerhouse. But before I do that, I'm going to try to be smart, and I'm going to like think about I know it's so hard to think that I'm going to think about it first, but I'm going to plan this a little bit. So I'm going to, before I jump into Blender, I'm going to be like, what the heck am I going to build? And so that might be where like coming up with just like a sketch, might be a good idea. Obviously sketches, paper, pencil are really cool. You could use AI for like ideas. So I'm just going to jump back to Decentraland, make sure that this is good. Yes. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I like to come up with ideas in my head, and then if I write them down like I have in the past in my Decentraland notebook from 2019, if I write them down, I never make them really, or I make them like 7 years later. But if I just start building, then I make them. And then I have to make them twice actually, because I probably build it wrong the first time. But yeah, that's how I work. So don't be like me, you guys. So if I'm gonna make, I feel like everybody's gonna make a round arena. Am I right, you guys? I think just because, well, an arena kind of feels round. It doesn't have to be round, but in my mind, I'm like, all right, that's when I see the pictures that like Knights of Antrim has posted, and then I see this, it kind of makes my head think, all right, we're gonna do something round. So what I would do, like if I wasn't doing a class in 1 hour, I would probably preview this. I would take my avatar in here and walk around it to see how big it is. So there's my avatar right there. And then I can kind of get an idea like, okay, this is what we're working with. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to jump right into Blender and I'm just going to go hog wild in Blender because, yeah. So because I don't have the I don't have the I just don't have the time to like go and sit there. But I would highly suggest go walk in that 10 by 10 first because I swear every time you get an idea of what you want to build, um it's your mind is building for 100 by 100 and your hands have to build it for a 10 by 10, literally. Um I don't know, that's just me. I always imagine it way bigger. So here we are in Blender. I'm going to assume that people kind of have these steps out of the way. I just highlighted everything, deleted it, and now I'm going to hit Shift A, and I'm going to do a plane just to get started. Actually, I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to do Shift A. I'm going to make it 16 meters. So this is one parcel of land that I'm gonna do, have to build with. So let's see. I should actually, I'm gonna do my math. Let's do that again, guys. Let's do a plane and let's make it, what would it be, 1600 meters? Or 16? Is that a 10 by 10? Oh, 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 I'm hitting the wrong thing. Where am I? Let's not do that, you guys. All right, let's try that again. No, 160. All right, is that a? Can somebody help me with the math? 16 times 10. That's I think that's the 160. So yes, I do want to make it round. Um, I could do a cylinder and just be like, boom. The first thing you're gonna do is just rough out what it looks like. It's kind of weird, like the way that this little edge goes. I could rotate this slightly, but I think it's gonna be good. All right, and then make that go down. So you don't have to make it circle. My brain is just like circle. It knows it wants that circle. And now you could do like just to get like the texture. If you go over here, hit new, just throw it, throw some black texture on there. Now you notice it doesn't look black. So remember up here, this middle icon is where you're going to be looking at what you actually have. I would probably model a little bit before I start adding like other textures. So I'm thinking, because like this is the part where you kind of get lost. I'd say lost in the sauce. And you're like, I don't know, where do I start? Where do I end? Where does the bad guy come in? Like the boss? Where do the mobs start spawning? So I might just take like a cube and like make that and some sound effects and be like, all right, guys, boss, or like things are gonna spawn right here. Because now at least I have like an idea of where they're gonna come. And then my avatar, which I could just make like, oops, I don't know what, I told you, coffee, any more coffee. All right, so this is my little avatar. This is actually the size of a human, like avatar. So this just gives you a kind of an idea. I should put a little head on him. This gives you an idea of like who you are on this entire scene, right? So, pew pew. I got my little sword here. My bad guys are coming out from over here, but I want them to like arrive in grand form. Like they can't just be like Project Runway and they're walking on a runway, they have to spawn in some cool shit, right? Like there's got to be a reason why you can't just like spawn in. There's either got to be a gate over here, like they're walking through the gate, or there's some kind of magical portal. I think both would be cool. So what I think I will do is make a portal here. So I want to make it like a cool shape too, kind of like curvy. And you guys know I love my cylinder. Um, right now, usually before I touch anything, and I brought that in, this is where I would like I could bring this down to 24 or something. The cylinder doesn't need to be that many sides. And if you're making a big scene, this is a good way to save triangles. However, I don't think that this scene is going to need to be like conservative on triangles. So it really doesn't matter. I think I'm actually going to just like get rid of that, put it back in, keep it at 36, whatever it was, just because it's going to make a cooler, like smoother shape to have more vertices on here. But I think it's really good when you're just starting out building to always be aware. That's like a good way to save it or to save triangles, because now when I extrude this, every extrusion is going to be another 36 vertices. And if you want to see how that looks, so right here is 140 triangles. So I just want to show you something really quick, because building to low limitation, well, I guess it's not the triangle limitations. So watch that. 140, 212, 284, oops, that, 356, 428, 500. So like from the outside, if you look at this sucker, you're like, yeah, this is one piece from the top to the bottom. I didn't turn it, I didn't do anything. But it's actually like Blender is rendering it like it's way bigger. So don't do that. Like if you can save, that's a good place to do it. You can't go above the megabyte limitations on this, because it just don't make a giant scene. There's no need to make a 200 megabyte scene. For one thing, KOA wants us to like stay kind of within the guidelines, and then also just like it's gonna work better. There are times and places to break the rules, you guys. This is not one of them. All right, so before I move on, I'm gonna be smart. I'm being smarter nowadays than I used to be. I know I want to texture this, and I also want it to be like a cool curve. So I could do all this and then find out that my curve is not going to work, or I could put the texture on and be like, all right, we got this. So what I'm going to do is add a texture now, because I want this thing to be cool. I want it to have runes on it. Sorry, I'm like doing stuff without saying what I'm doing. I want it to have like some kind of magical properties, right? So I've got to add that in. So I just did a step. I didn't tell you because I'm in autopilot. I did a new texture, and now I'm going to open Antrim, and then I'm going to try to take this rune 2. You can see it like looks bad, right? But here's why I want to show you this. And I know I've done it way a long time ago. But I want to show you it again. Let me get it centered up here real quick. Edit all of it. Okay, this part I hate. You always have to go over here, click that little icon so that you can see what you're looking at. So if you are going to add anything fancy like textures to your scene, pay attention to this, because it matters. So like here, I want this thing to have these cool runes on the side of it, right? And I'm doing this because I've made this, sorry. It's so funny how you go from Creator Hub to finger controls to all of a sudden you're like here, and it's like freaking out. So I want these runes to be the entire length of this thing. I want it to look like a Maleficent horn, kind of like this cool thing. And then I'm going to duplicate it and make it over here. So it would be so easy for me to be like, yeah, let's do this thing. I'm going to make a Maleficent horn. I'm going to do this, and its runes are going to go up the side. It's going to look so cool. But guys, look what's already happening. It's already screwing it up. And do you know how many times I have done this and then gone in and just cried to myself with my coffee, holding my stuffies, realizing I put all this work in and now it looks like crap. So we're not going to do that, guys. We're going to be smart. We're going to be smarter. We're going to undo all that. Before you do anything, here it is. Options, correct face attributes. And then you can do this. It's going to repeat the pattern, so it's not like a automatic gimme, but it's way closer. It doesn't get that stretch. So at this point, now I could ignore my design. The design is going to look bad before it looks better. But that is it. So if you have correct face attributes on, and you have to do it before you start this. I tried like retroactively adding it. No, it doesn't work. So again, without it, it just takes that last color and goes upward. So this little thing right here, when you're extruding, if you're making trees or anything else, that thing is a lifesaver. All right, so let's see. Hopefully this works the way I want it to, because I already rotated, darn it. All right, let's see if I can get it like perfect. All right, so didn't do it now. All right, actually, you know what I'm going to do to be safe? I'm just going to delete that. Oh, what did I delete? I deleted the vertices because I was in edit mode. All right, I'm going to leave that guy there. My hands really aren't working today. I think I have been blendering too much. I've been blendering a lot. Maybe I haven't been blendering enough. All right, so that's like my beginning one. This is my second one. I want to make 2 of these. So instead of going through all that process again, I can just go in there and just grab it. So like I already have 2 materials in my scene. I have the black and that I added down here, and then I have this guy. So just remember that. You don't have to like reinvent the wheel, but also those are still there and they're going to eat up. I believe they eat up a lot of your memory. I haven't, I've had some issues with that. All right, so let's see. I'm going to take this, check correct face attributes on, and now I'm going to probably just do, I don't know, like, and a bunch at the top because I'm going to make little changes. I can go through and like mess with this later if I want. And actually now I'm like, my brain is getting distracted. So I'm going to just click right here. It just takes it down to like no texture. So highly recommend that. Do not get distracted by your own creation. All right, so now I want to shape this and I want to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to do, what are these, the little vertices? I don't know. I call them like corners. Probably call them the wrong thing. All right, so let's see what we can figure out. Like I could have a Maleficent horn to kind of look at, but I think I'm just going to like wing it. One thing I'm afraid this is going to skew it a little bit, but we'll find out. So let's see, does the bottom start like this? Or would, I think it would be like that. And it might not be perfectly to scale to start, but I can always like go resize it. So actually, if I'm going to make this like large to small, I could just go like this. Because now, instead of getting that, like changing them all one by one, I could just kind of do this. And actually, I might do that and not even move them down. Oh, they're getting harder to see. This is not looking like I wanted it to. Do you ever get it where you're like, okay, I can see it in my head, but reality is so much different. But as I like to say to myself, this is like the ugly part of the process where it's gonna look bad before it looks better. And it's like that's the time where you want to give up. You're like, no, this is not coming out like I wanted it. And a lot, that is the way it goes. And I think Blender is a lot like mathematics, where there are multiple ways to get to the same outcome. And so, sometimes people are like, oh, you could have just done this. And I was like, yeah, I could have. Totally could have. Probably never will because this is how my brain, like, this is my brain already has this hotkey in my head. All right. So it's kind of like, it's roughly the cone, which is what I want right now. Um, but I want to see, before I go too far, also, I want to make sure that I'm not screwing it up too much. Because usually I don't do that. And I would get to the end and it's all screwed up. Like, because it actually already is kind of getting like these pieces are repeating. So, might not be able to fix that. All right, so I'm going to go into edit mode. I'm going to select all, and then I'm going to go into the UV editing. And I'm not going to get scared by this, you guys. Neither are you. You're just going to be like, oh, okay, that's a lot of stuff. That's right. That's all it is. It's a lot of stuff. Um, you're just going to hit S for scale, and then you can see, let's just try to get as close up. When you're scaling it, this is going back and forth. I think I'm actually flipping it upside down. Which way is the right way? Yeah, that's the right way. So it's kind of funny if you like go too far, you'll flip it upside down. And it's hard to tell it's backwards because it's a rune. And I doubt if any of us speak AI runes because they're not. Maybe we do. Okay, so the easiest way is just to like, for me, to eyeball it. Literally, I'm not going to do anything with math. I'm just going to see right here. Does it look good or does it look bad? And then I'm just going to like move it around. I want these runes to be right in the center. Okay. So then it's like move, rotate, just over and over again. Oh, and okay, here's an interesting. See how I'm up above? This pattern right here, it repeats. So it doesn't show you that it repeats, but it repeats. And so I'm like doing all this up here and it kind of doesn't make sense, but I just have to tell myself, okay, it would also do the same thing right here. So I could be editing it here. I could be like over here. It's going to be the same thing. Um, I would probably never leave it up here. I'd be like, oh, shoot. Okay. Just because it's easier to be like, now I'm on the image. But just remember, if you're like, I think that's what people get so, maybe what get them like confused when they're trying to do some kind of like UV editing project, like move stuff around. I don't know. It seems like that might be part of it, just like how people are looking at it. All right, so this might take actually like a lot of fine tuning. Usually it probably does. All right. So probably like there, and it looks stretched. So I'm gonna put that. And this is where I could spend all day getting it lined up. And later I'm gonna have to fix it anyway. So I would say when you're starting out, just leave stuff to come back to because you could spend hours nitpicking this and then you got to come back and like clean it up. Don't do that. Okay, also this looks like, you can see an image clearly on here and that's not what I want. I want it to be like the runes and nothing else. So I'm going to go into edit mode. I'm just going to grab like all of it. And actually now I'm going to go to like the faces. Not gonna be see-through because I like where these guys ended up, but the rest looks like Dookie. So I'm probably, this could come back to haunt me, but oops, I'm gonna hit A for all, and then I'm going to unselect the part I like. Because I'm just gonna like hope and pray that I can make this look good later and fix it. But everything else I need to clean up. So now when I go back in, it's going to edit everything except for what I left there. So see how it's here. And actually that's like a really cool way to see it. What I want is all of it to be black. And so holding the shift key, I'm just gonna make this thing so tiny that nobody can see it. If I leave it larger right here, um, and if you're like, what color is this? Well, it's all black, but it's not. This is like dark black. This is like gray. This is dark gray, light black. So you want to make sure that it's all in one part, because if I have it here, then on my thingamajobber, you're going to see this gradient. You could use that to make it look round, actually. Like that'd be cool, but I think at this stage, like if people see that it's fuzzy, they'll be like, ah, I know what you did. All right, so there, that's all of that. Now I have one solid Maleficent kind of thingy. This down at the bottom, I don't like, but I can clean that up later. I'm not gonna worry too much about that. Um, so now I can, I'm like, okay, I still don't think I can get a turn on these guys right here without like severely warping them. So I'm gonna figure that part out later, but I'm gonna try to put a little curve up here. So, because I'm thinking if it's like a portal they're walking through, the enemies are spawning out of, um, it would be, oh, actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna undo that. I'm gonna try to leave this as close as I can to my font, because now on the next one, since this is not going to affect my runes, now I can start like getting the curve, right? Don't worry if that looks bad. It just looks bad for a moment. Or a few moments, depending. Okay, maybe went a little bit too hard of a curve there. All right, so okay, and maybe want to make that a little bit bigger. I want it to like wrap around, and yeah, I probably could have made a like extrude a tool just to kind of see what it was gonna look like first, but that's okay. All right. Now I'm in like X-ray mode, which is vital for this. You've got to be able to see all the way through it. That way I know when I grab these, I'm grabbing all of them. All right, and I don't want it to get too small too quick. I want to leave some size. Let's see. So like that. All right. So all of these guys, I made them pretty small. So let's make it bigger. Okay. That guy I'm gonna make small. All right, now I can see a little bit more what this could end up looking like. And I haven't been checking the chat, but if you guys have questions, let me know. Okay. I think it needs to be touch small. Okay. Now this is where it's going to start going that way. I'm gonna have to add way more, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. Um, I think I kind of came out this way too far. So now that I want to like continue it, now I got to make that one bigger. Yeah, it's not proportioned. The bottom's way bigger than it should be for like, but whatever. All right, that guy, maybe we won't turn. We'll just make smaller, maybe a tiny bit. Now this is more fun when you just get to like raw extrude, because then I don't know, then you could just go to town. And since this isn't, I mean, in my mind, a 10 by 10, we're gonna have a lot of triangles to work with. I can be like kind of more like free with them. If I'm trying to conserve triangles, I'm gonna like sit here and try to make sure that I don't waste any triangles. Not the case here. Go to town. So all I'm doing, and we've done it many times, so I haven't been explaining it, but E to extrude, then turn, and then S to make it slightly smaller. E, S, E, S. You could just sit here and E, S all day long. It really is so fun. All right. Not not the turn, not the curve that I thought that I saw in my head, but I can fix that. All right, and I do want it to be like pointed. Remember that like I don't know, pointed objects are just inherently scary. That's stupid to say, but like, oh, it looks like a pirate hook. Uh, all right, so I could be like, I could rotate that. What I really wanted was like, I don't know, something a little bit different, but that's okay. All right, let's get rid of that guy. So this is like, actually, let's make it bigger because it looks too small. And now I'm going to be like, select the object, duplicate. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I don't like moving things by hand. And so you see that I did that really quick and I don't want to do that. So shift, duplicate. Oops, I still did it. Tiny bit. But it's just so much easier if you don't hand move it because it's it'll line up. I've gotten into too much trouble when I did that and then it got screwed up later. All right, so I'm going to mirror it and I usually do it wrong. No, I did it right. I just have to rotate it. Perfect. So it's a perfect mirror. And I'm going to rotate and then I'm going to see. Thank you, Rustan, for letting me know. I could actually do it by the numbers. So it's 183. I want to do 180. So it's just a perfect, perfect amount. So this is my portal that my bad guys are going to spawn in. It it would be so cool if there was like an energy force field right here. So could I do an energy force field? Let's see. Let's take this. I don't like that. Uh, okay, an energy force field would be really easy to put right there. How about before I do anything, I just do some fun, cool stuff. Icospheres, one subdivision, so they're itty bitty tiny. Okay. Itty bitty. Oops. Before we make them itty bitty, do not do this, guys. I've done this where I put stars in the sky and it's like thousands of stars. And then I realized I forgot to texture them. So let's do like um dark blue, dark ooh, let's do red, but now I have to do it again because I want to make them emissive and I want to make them red. So yes, this is like what? Don't do this. All right, so now I have a tiny, tiny little red thing, and this is where, my monsters are going to spawn out of. And I'm going to make a shit ton of those. But I'm going to move them and rotate them ever so slightly. Duplicate. But don't duplicate and just move over directly, like move it down. Make it a tiny bit bigger. Maybe that one I will. Oh, how did it, see, that's the weird thing. How did it get over there? All right. I like that tiny one. This is the fun part. Okay, so since I don't want to do this all day, now I have enough that I can just copy, like duplicate that, rotate it, maybe make it slightly bigger. Kind of keep them all in the center there. Maybe rotate them like that. All right, now I'm going to duplicate those one more time. I'm going to leave some up here. So those I'm going to tuck away. I'm going to come back for them. But all these guys I'm going to join. And I bet it didn't. Did it work? Yeah, it did. Okay. Gonna join. No, it didn't. Sometimes it doesn't work if you do multiple. Like for some reason, you got to just do it like this. There's probably a rhyme or reason. Now join. Okay, now they're together, but the point of rotation is over here. No. So I'm going to set origin, middle of the mass, right there. And then I'm gonna like have my cursor over it, hit I, and then there's automatically 250 frames. So I'm gonna probably do that. Let's see how fast it is. And then hit I again. There we go. Oh, too fast, too fast. Or actually, maybe that's good. Maybe like enemies spawn in too fast. But let's try it a little bit slower. I'm gonna delete that guy. I'm gonna do one turn. See how I'm making a pie. So if this is a pie, Canessa would get this piece. Everybody else would get this tiny one. I'm just kidding, but I like pie. All right. Okay, that looks kind of magical. That's kind of cool. The way that it looks though, it's I don't know, like it has these things coming off of it. They should be going the other way. All right, so see how it slows down and stops. I'm gonna come down here to the keying dope sheet keyframe. I'm gonna hit A for all, T linear, because now when it moves, there is not a start and stop. It's just going to do this. And if I did it right, you won't see a little catch. Now, these guys that are not part of it, the reason you don't want to put them as part of it is because once you do, you can't like use them for something, like you can't come down and join them. I will duplicate those and duplicate. All right. I like to move them. If you don't move them, there's an obvious pattern. People are going to be like, haha, I know what you did there. Same thing. I'm going to join these. Ah, okay. So sometimes you can't. Join. Okay, I'm going to put the center of origin to the middle. And now I'm going to bring these down. And to make it look good, I would actually need this to be a different keyframe because right now, if I do the same thing I did, where I hit I go to the end, I hit I, oh, sorry, don't hit I move it, one rotation, then I hit I hit A, T, linear. They're just gonna look, well, they're, okay, they look different enough. It's not bad. It's like actually rotating really cool. So that looks like definitely there's some dark magic, and it makes sense why there's a horde of energies, not horde of energies, horde of monsters coming out of this energy pool. So I don't know, what time is it? 48 minutes. We have a spawn point. We have like a little bit of mystical magic that says, hey, I'm special. I'm gonna vomit monsters out of me. Which is what you want. You want it to make sense. Um, if you want to, let's see, I feel like I'm going to grab one of these, shift duplicate. I'm going to make it smaller, but I got to rotate it, otherwise it's going to look repetitive. I got to make sure that I delete these keyframes down here, because otherwise it's going to immediately spawn it back to the same size as those others. And let's do like oh shoot, no, don't do that. I already did it. So here's something that happens. Since I had all of them the same color and I started messing with the color before I, let's see, which one is that? Before I took the color out, it changed the color of all of them. So let's see, which one was it? There we go. This one. Icosphere, this one. All right. What I want to do is take that color out, and now I can add a new one in. So remember that, because sometimes you'll have a really good color and then you fuck it up, and then all of a sudden you're like, no. All right, so the middle is yellow. So these are going to rotate faster because they're smaller. So that will make it look, I think, kind of cool. Now there's like a little center of this orb. Definitely like a center where there's something happening there. And if we want to do that again, let's see. Duplicate. I'm going to make it smaller. Take the keyframes off. And actually what I'm going to do, bring it up here to work with it. I'm going to duplicate it again. Turn it randomly. Duplicate it again. Turn it randomly. Duplicate it again. Make it smaller. Duplicate. Let's make it like there's obviously some kind of like center to this. Never mind the amount of triangles that I'm just creating, guys, because that's some crazy. That might be a little too crazy. All right, now hopefully I can join all this. Yay, I can. All right, now that's our like energy center. Ooh, yeah, I like that. Maybe a tiny bit bigger, and then I at the beginning. Go to the last keyframe. Grab rotate. Rotate it just until you see that last sliver of pie. I, A, T, linear. And there you go. It actually might be cool if it was like a little bit lower. But you get the idea. You can make a special effect, you know, pretty quickly. I bet it looks really cool in world. The key to making this effect look good is don't just have one set of this going around. Have two sets, because the second that you have two of these bodies moving at different speeds, it just, I don't know, there's something about it that like looks so cool. Why is that guy not moving? You're not doing a very good job, dude. Look at everybody's moving but him, and you can see at the last keyframe he jumps, which means I did not get it lined up. So Gonna have to talk to HR about this guy's work performance. What are you doing, man? So if I probably only me is gonna sit here and be like, that sparkle is not lining up. So actually, I'm gonna not be a weirdo. I'm gonna leave that. Okay, I'm gonna jump back to Decentraland, um see what if I've missed any questions. 'Cause I've been talking for a long time. Let's see. I guess, yeah, let me know if you have questions now. I'll be here for a moment and then I'll go back and make a few other things. Oh no, am I wizard? What did I do that was a wizard? Haha. Thank you guys for the nice words. I make it look so easy. I'll tell you what, man. I just put the time in and it's all about muscle memory. It's not all about muscle memory. I think like I don't know, just my brain my brain is different. Like I know my brain is a little bit different. Um, you know it was fancy. God dang it. Yes. She will 100% go back and delete that weirdo dot later. Yes. Yes. I have some tendencies. Not tendencies. I do have some OCD and not the fun kind. I have the other kind. Oh, you sent me a boss. All right. Let's see. Can I send that? I gotta check it out. Um, you're funny, Fancy. You're funny, because you totally know me. That left shark. You guys, I'm leaving that sparkle in. Did you know that that sparkle actually is where the demons spawn from? That right there. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave like some random asymmetrical spawn point from now on. Um, I also think, like in my mind, I'm seeing like a doorway that they could walk through, which would have been perfect if this was like symmetrical as all the world should be, but it's not. So, um, I could pull it off. I could pull it off. All right, let me think about this for a second. Let's, and I'll show you what I mean. Sometimes it's like my brain is thinking, my words are, my brain is thinking and my words are talking. So I'm gonna add a cylinder because this is cool. It's getting cool, but it's also like, I don't know. Um, where's the door for the demons to walk through? I need a nice door because all demons use doors, right? They've been trained well. All right, so I'm gonna do that. Let's do that. 90. Okay. All right, let's go into edit mode. Bring that down. This is the part that won't look good. Could make it a heart. These could be like love demons. Oh, probably not. We probably just need like real demons. Oops. Fancy, I can't believe you said that still. I'm like, what the heck, Fancy? You know me so well. That's when I have to like tell myself, like, especially when I'm doing these classes, don't sit here and like uh do all the little stuff. Just do um, and I have to like write myself notes about don't do all that little stuff. Like nobody cares. Nobody cares about the little stuff. Or like do it at the end, right? Do it at the end. Okay, there we go. Cool. Now, that's our doorway. Make sure it lines up as much as we can, maybe down a little bit. And now let's add a texture. Since we're going with the red theme, I think like red 0, and here's the magic, the alpha. So now there's actually like a see-through door that they can walk through. And then it like makes it really clear, do not go through that door, you guys. Like that's gonna be there's like stranger things happening over there. Like you do not want to go through. And actually I see some reflection. Maybe we don't want that reflection. And maybe we want it to be like 5. Oh, that'd be nice. Like lava. But I think 1. Like we get a little color. Oh, too light. 2. There we go. So you're still going to get like that color, and there's going to be that clear, like something is happening here. And then the enemies. Oh, you know, it'd be awesome is if you could see the enemies behind you before they come through. So maybe they're spawning in. Like this is the avatar. Oops. But then like the spawn point for the monsters is right here. So you see them before they step through, which would add an element of like, oh snap, here they come. Like, kind of, oh yeah, like the silhouette. If you could see the silhouette of them, let's say that this is the bad guy. If you can see them, but not really well, before they get here, that builds fear in the mind. Like that, even if they're not scary, your mind is going to make them way scarier than they are. All right, so on these, I can see my little lines, and I hate that. So let's do a shade smooth. So there, okay. Look at the difference, because it's so good to tell the difference when you have like this one compared to this one. So this is the shade smooth. This is normal. So if you leave this here, somebody's going to be like, wow, good. Canessa discovered Blender. She's doing so well. So don't do that. Go shade smooth. Unless you want, like there's sometimes when shade smooth makes it not as good. The other thing, these are like reflective. And big thanks to Dr. Drip. This is one of the best things I learned is go to specular and 0. Oh no. Okay, no. I don't think I want that in this. I think I want some specular. So, not 0, let's try 3. Okay. Okay, let's leave it there at 3. I didn't realize how like that would look. And it really makes the contrast between these, like the textures show up. I'm trying to hide my quick, not mistakes, but I'm hiding the speed at which I created that, so I don't want it to show up. But yeah, there we go. I got my monster block behind it showing up. So scary. Oh. All right, let's see. I sent you a boss. Okay, I will have to download that. I know, Fancy, the tracer trails look great, but the tracer trails don't necessarily... Well, I don't know if they look like that in world. Like, because every time you test a different texture, you've got, you know, like, I'm trying to think, like, have I experimented with that? I don't know. That could actually leave it there. The other thing that you can do, and Fancy, you've seen me do this before, is, so let's take one of these, and we're gonna get rid of that material. Then we're going to add color back in, because I still want it red. But then we're gonna mess around with this, and let's go to like 7 metallic, roughness 0, and let's see if I can zoom in. Can't really see it very well because like we're working on big scale. All right, so there. Now I've got a metallic-y thing. And yes, Decentraland doesn't do metallics, but hold my beer. Oh, I don't know why I resized that. I'm gonna have to change it. Okay, so it's still, oh, I'm doing it backwards. Okay, so it's still in there. Doesn't look that cool, but watch what happens when you take a metallic texture and then you do shade smooth. Probably won't show up as well on this, but you get all sorts of glitteriness. So if you go over to the CBD Plaza and you see anything glittering, that's what that is. I'm gonna actually change this to like a white texture so you can maybe see it better. This I have found looks really cool. So if you have a mix of emission, like the ones that we did that have, they glow, they're going to glow in world. If you have a little bit of emission, but then you also have metallic that shines, you're going to have like two effects at the same time. A little bit shiny, what the heck is that one doing? Boy, that red color. Now I realize you guys are just crazy. You just go into town. Um, but yeah, like, so have both. Have both. The other reason to have both is that if you're making this and trying to optimize it for mobile, mobile is still working on like rendering all of the lighting and the coloring. And one thing that looks really good in mobile is emission. Anything emissive. So like I've made a cool world, cool game I'm making. It looks great on like PC. And then I go into mobile and all of the places that look really good because they're lit up, they don't look good. So I'm going back and I'm adding emission so that it doesn't, I don't know, so that the color doesn't die at me. Like it's a cool color. It still looks good. But I want the sparkles because I freaking love sparkles, like these guys. See that sparkle? Look at that. Who doesn't want that in their monster spawner? Um, and I'll show you. Ha ha ha. Okay, you would avoid it because it looks like a glitter bomb. I'll show you a glitter bomb. Hold, hold on. Okay, so see this world. Everything that sparkles, that's all that metallic texture. And it looks, I think it looks good because it shows, yes, thank you. It shows like life in my mind because if you look up here, this is moving and sparkling. Even on the top of the building, I have that rotating. Well, that's a light, but because I want things to be moving around to appear to be like a city. If everything is just sitting there still, nobody thinks, wow, that's a fun city I would love to go see. I am running someplace with a purpose. Trust me. This is don't click on this portal. It will take you to my Flanders Fields world. Unless you want to go to Flanders Fields, then do it. But there's something weird about portals. It doesn't give you a choice. So if you click on it, you're going. But this is what I've made with the same portal effect. This is something I was testing months ago. Like, oh, how can you make it look like a cool portal that you want to go into? And then the repeating shapes, or like the repetition kind of makes it look cool. So if you wanted to add a portal to your Knights of Antrim scene, this one would look so cool watching the monsters spawn out of there. But that's all done with metallic texture. Same thing. Icosphere, rotate. It might look cool, but I'm kind of a one trick pony, so it's like it's cool, but it's all the same. So no, I'm joking, but it is kind of all the same. So that's, what you could do with sparkles. They actually look so much cooler in Blender, and then I think the in the Creator Hub, they look so cool. So here, not so much, but there you can see in front of me those metallic textures. When I'm not moving, they don't sparkle. except for that guy, because that's why I made that moving so that it would be throwing that shininess even when the avatar is standing still. Oh, why am I running back? I could just teleport back. Oh, I forgot I could teleport. So that is kind of like, I mean, it's hopefully it gives people ideas of like, sometimes ideas are the most valuable thing that you could have, right? Those are the thing. That's what's going to help. Um, in this arena, let's see, does it still have room for a boss? I mean, it, I think it does. You could, gosh, you could take this now if you don't want one. Just take all of this, copy, paste, rotate. As soon as I click anything, all of my sparkles are gonna go back to right here because you have to reanimate them if you're gonna put them somewhere else. Or if there's another way to do it, I don't know of it. So this would also be cool if you made it like they're gonna come through the portals, but you don't know which one they're gonna come through. Okay. So now if I'm down here and I'm battling, like maybe I have some enemies coming through that portal, but if I'm not looking carefully, maybe I've got some through there, some through there. So there's a lot you could do. You could also make like I love the movie Gladiator. Like, I don't know, Marcus Aurelius. Like it's such a good movie. But like that one, there was a ring around it. So let's see, I'm trying to think. How could I make this in like 5 seconds? We'll make walls. So basically like you're trapped. Ooh, I love the idea of being trapped in there with the bad guys. So take that, make it smaller, make it go up, make it like that. I'm not teaching you how to do this right now. I'm just going to do it because that way it's quick. So now you gotta like, that changes my psychology, you guys. Look at this. Look at this. Like, I'm in here, I'm fighting, or I'm trapped and I'm never gonna make it out unless I kill these bosses. So think about that too. Like maybe there's one little thing that you could do to change the psychology of it. Oh, look at that shadow. Oh, look at that shadow, you guys. That's screaming Maleficent. And I love Maleficent. Like, so yeah, that's why I was inspired by this one. So now you could do like doors on the side. They could be let's see. What am I gonna do? All right, let's see. Which one of these am I gonna take away? You could have just like a door. Let's change the color of this. Right now I'm just kind of like coming up with ideas. Like take these ideas if anybody's like, "Oh, that's a cool idea," but Canessa thought of it first. I'm not worried about, I mean, don't, yeah. Actually, I shouldn't be like that. Like, please don't steal, but you know what I mean. All right, so maybe there's a door, and then I, and then the door raises slowly or fast. That's probably there. And then it stays up, and then it goes down. All right, so maybe that's like you're running around and the door opens. Oh, that's too fast. Hold up. Hold up. There needs to be fear and there needs to be sound effects that when that door starts to open, you're like, oh, that would actually be great if there was a sound effect every time there was a new thing that spawns in. And then make it slow, make it painful because you know it's coming. So all you'd have to do is add like a little tunnel there. And you know what you could do over here, just do like a cage Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Put a cage over here so you can see the monsters and then have them, Matt can put them in here and have them all animated and like screaming and stuff. They never have to come out of there, ever. That can just be like the pet of Oligar or whatever. But thinking that those monsters are going to come out of there would be horrifying. So I think, yeah, people get scared. People scare themselves long before anybody else scares them. So if you just like trap them, make them think there's no way out, screaming monsters coming, sharp, pointy horns, the color red, these are all just like easy, easy ways to like create fear. Now, if you have like the weapons that Tuna Boy has and Bacon Grease, you're not afraid of anything, so that's not going to do it. But for the rest of us, we're gonna call in some support. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, so guys, let me know. Yes, if are you not entertained? Yes, murder hobo. That's why I made this emote. I'm sorry, but I had to. Oh, and does it work with the hook? It kind of does. Yes. I love that part. Ah, that was such a good movie. I should watch it again. And I guess there's a Gladiator too, but it doesn't have Russell Crowe. And I saw an interview. Russell Crowe was not even consulted, so very, very sad. But yeah, there's a lot that, looking at like old um I mean, freaking Gladiator, like it's crazy to think that they did this with humans. So, looking at Greek, or not Greek, Roman, like Gladiator arenas. But I do think that we're all going to kind of come up with the same thing. And so I'm like, how can I think outside of the box? Because I don't want to just, I think we're all going to have like roundish arenas. And some of that is like, how much are we just influenced by, I don't know, like if we already all saw the same idea, maybe we're all influenced like that. Like now I hope I don't influence people by showing this, but I think everybody will interpret it their own way and make something cool. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you guys have questions. I think maybe we'll continue with it next week, maybe not. I'm not sure, but I hope people build. Like I hope that somebody that maybe loves the game Knights of Antrim, maybe they're like they love it, but they haven't built anything. Maybe this is like the way that they could build it. And I think it would be so cool if you could see like your own creation in the game. That would be awesome. So yeah, let me know if there's questions. Otherwise, thank you everybody for being here today, and we will see you in Knights of Antrim soon. Take care. Bye bye.